All this chatter is fine, but I've places I'd rather be.
I think that means we're getting close. Unless that squirrel had a crow for a father, I'd say it was recently polymorphed. Maybe the squirrel was annoying him with questions about his magical talents.
King Rockduck, tell King Rockduck Peoples is coming to get Baldur. Got to protect Baldur. Rockduck be inside cave, guarding Baldur from other tribes. I lead you there now, so you not mess up my stuff. That moron let intruders in again. Kill them all before Rockduck finds out and punishes us all.
Thank Mistress, someone has come for me at last. It's too bad you had to cut your way through. Adoy is me, and I am Adoy. Why have you sought me out?
It's true. I hoped you could teach me how to control my magic.
Is that so? Well, I'm afraid I'm not the best example of learning to control wild magic. I'm not sure anyone can do that. You can't govern chaos. Otherwise, it wouldn't be chaos, would it?
Don't tell me we've come all this way for nothing.
Of course not for nothing. You have just experienced the honor of meeting Baldur, the goblin god of cooperation and territory. Not intentionally, I assure you. It was all a great misunderstanding. It all started when I was trying to make a nice pot of peas porridge. It's all part of the wonder of wild magic. You have to be ready for a little unexpected excitement at any moment.
He's not joking, let me tell you.
The real trouble began when Rockduck came to find out where all the new goblins had come from. He didn't believe for a second that I was a god, but because the goblins did, he dared not attack me. Instead, he locked me up. As long as I remained in his care, he could control the goblins.
At last. Not only have we caught up with that slippery elf.
Half-elf! What is wrong with you?
Half-elf. You'll regret spoiling my grand entrance once we subdue you for examination. And what is this? Another wild mage? Perhaps I should thank you for leading us to yet another test subject.
You will find that I do not submit meekly to tests, especially tests from red wizards.
Yeah, and I didn't even finish school, so no tests for me either.
Then prepare to die.
Not if I can help it. Behold, the power of untamed magic! What an inconvenient mix-up. Oh, I would have preferred to fight beside you. Alas, as a practitioner of wild magic, I cannot always predict the outcome of my spells. The red wizards pursue your friend Nira and me to study us, or perhaps just our brains, to learn why we can wield the power of arcane chaos, and they can't.
Can we not talk about having our brains studied, please? Pretty please?
Of course, my dear. Now, as I was saying before we were so rudely interrupted... wait, where was I? Ah, yes, of course. Well, that about sums it up. The next thing I know, you've slain Rockduck and freed me from captivity.
Come on, old man. Make with the wisdom. No one gets to be your age without learning a few things. You must know how to avoid the crazy surges of power. You're holding out on me.
Oh, not at all, my dear. The only secret is to accept the bad with the good. You don't complain when your fireball incinerates an entire tribe of trolls, do you? You just have to be ready to improvise when it showers them in flower petals instead. Half the fun of our profession is that you never know what will happen next. Why, I'd have never discovered the joy of being a woman if that spell hadn't turned on me last summer.
That can't be all there is. You'd never have survived to be so very, very old without something up your sleeve.
Since you put it that way, maybe there is one thing I can give you. It isn't up my sleeve, but around my waist. I constructed this belt for my occasional trips into town. Accidentally shocking those who shake my hand can be chalked up to carelessness, but a giant spider with the voice of an old man running through town? Forget about it. I seldom visit settlements these days, so perhaps you'll get more use out of it than I do, and maybe a little peace of mind.
Oh, joy. After coming all this way, I get a belt. It's not even my color.
Oh, don't think I've forgotten you. Watch as I conjure my fabulous treasure trove, all for you.
No! It's not fair! I've traveled so far and overcome so many obstacles all on my own, and he just disappears. Oh, of course you helped. I haven't forgotten that it's all about you. I've been thinking about you. Not bad ones, anyway. Mostly I can't figure you out. For example, why did you help me escape the Red Wizards? That sounds very noble, but is it the real reason? As simple as that, is it? I thought there might be more to you than meets the eye. Really? Well, that's a shame, if it's true.
Seems to me like these men want a little trouble. I'll give them trouble.
Oh, there, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
Hello there. I have a pretty proposal for you.
Greetings, mercenaries. I am Silky, thespian extraordinaire.
Greetings. I am Kagan. What can I do for you?
Every once in a while, I forget I'm fleeing red wizards who want to open up my brain and study it, and I realize I'm having the time of my life. That's it? That's all you have to say? I was hoping you enjoyed having me along as well. A valuable member of your team? Well, I guess I know where I stand.
Hail. It is not often that I come across strangers in this part of the world.
Travelers, I challenge your best warrior to a duel.
Some days I'm surprised you let me tag along, considering how dangerous my wild magic can be. Really? Haven't you seen how powerful some of my spells are? That's why those red wizards were after me. They wished they were half as powerful as a wild mage. Now you're just flattering me. Is that so? I'm beginning to think you're trying to handle me. Oh! Sometimes I wonder why I even try talking to you.
It's about time you came through for me. I was beginning to wonder whether your incompetence was... Wait. This isn't right. You fool! I am not fully revived. I am diminished, damaged, and dangerously deteriorated. Why, I've even lost some of my perspicacity. Najim? Are you even listening? My most obedient servant, friend! Where are you? Surely you aren't going to leave me up here? Ah, you conniving cur! I will crack your realm wide open and drag you into this plane of... Oh. Hello. Well, this is awkward. Greetings, friendly, surface dweller. You wouldn't happen to know the direction of the nearest entrance to the Underdark, would you? From the Underdark. Was that not clear? Goodness, are you blind? Ugh, I hadn't realized how sickly you surfacer sort are. No, I suppose you wouldn't. This is particularly problematic for a popular power player such as myself. How could I forget? Allow me to introduce myself. I am Baloth Baratil,
more commonly known as Baldur the Entertainer. Yes, I know, that Baldur. Fall to your knees and beg for mercy. I'm sure you know the drill. Perhaps you aren't as cultured as I had assumed. In any case, it seems that I am in a bit of a bind. I am unable to return to my home, left bare to the boundless barbarism of the service world. You must be crawling with questions, but first, let me elucidate recent events. Perhaps many of your petty ponderances will be answered. My most recent project was a little something I called the Black Pits. I'm sure you've heard of it. Mortal pitted against mortal in a desperate bid to... it doesn't matter anymore. You must be out of the loop. It was a marvelous sight. The roaring crowd, my obedient djinn slave keeping the prisoners in line, the sound of hammer crushing bone. Such fond memories. A favor here, a clever spell there, a geese or two. It's not so hard. Things went quite swimmingly until some upstarts tricked me into facing them in battle. They cheated, of course. But I am nothing if not calculatingly cautious, and so I instructed that djinn jerk Najim to grant me a final wish, that I be protected from death. Oh, he granted that one all right. As you can see, I live again. No demon web pits for me. But I am bereft of my previous power, forced to converse with a pack of mouth-breathe... Oh, I apologize. I'm beginning to ramble. I am simply unaccustomed to dealing with your kind on less than crushingly advantageous terms. I do not make it a habit to beg others for aid, and I prefer to lend favors rather than request them. Clearly, I still command some of my powers. Even in this diminished state, I must remain one of the top 5 spellcasters in all the realms. If someone were to offer me martial protection, I'm sure I could be of great help to... whatever it is you're doing. So I could really come with you? How perspicacious of you. You won't regret this. Now then, I assume you'll want me in a leadership capacity? Don't think you can intimidate me. Let us hope that you learn proper respect before my patience withers.
Help me. If you don't help me, you'll kill me.
I serve the flaming fist!
Jalcales?
Sorry, friend, but you've got a date down under.
Mullahay and Tazok have proven to be nothing more than puppets. The true master of this unfolding mystery continues to elude you. One thing is certain. Someone has taken a very personal interest in seeking your death. Though why, you are not sure. Your search for answers continues, and the foreboding Cloakwood Forest is your next target.
Oh there, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
Oh, travelers, hold a moment.
Gentlemen, gentlewomen, may I introduce myself? I am Eldoth Kron.
I am Baldur. I have been looking for those who would fight for the sanctity of this forest.
As darkness falls, your mind drifts back to events past, and to triumphs well-deserved indeed. A fortified camp secluded and guarded from the entire coast, and it is naught but easy pickings before your guile. All manner of bandit and brigand move about here, but you may as well be invisible amongst them. Your recollections are interrupted by a powerful gust of wind, lifting you high above the camp and woods both. Your arc crests in the high morning sun, and for a moment you are as a bird, free from your duties to those below. With unseen hands, the earth reasserts her hold on you, and suddenly you feel less like a sparrow and more like a catapult stone. Without impact or fanfare, the ground accepts your passage and does not strike back. In a moment, all is black, and for all you know, you have descended to the very core of the world. The rock around you illuminates, and a cavern slowly takes shape. Though you can see no more than a few steps ahead or behind, stumbling forward, you find yourself face to face with yourself. Before you is a likeness in stone exact to the smallest detail. A voice in the darkness accuses you, even as it seems amused. Such pride undeserved, great predator, when your whole being is borrowed. Credit where it is due, and dues where payment is demanded. A dagger of bone flies from the blackness and strikes the statue square. It cracks slightly, but the pain you feel is as though you were rent asunder. You were made as you are, taunts the voice, and you can also be broken. you fall backward into the void and do not come to rest until morning wakes you.
Save me, dear sir. Please save me.
Aye, who's there now? More smithing? Or did ye burrow into another river?
You have dealt a great blow to the organization known as the Iron Throne, a defeat that you are certain will not be ignored. Now you must travel to the great city of Baldur's Gate, where you are certain to find the truth behind the strange plot that plagues the citizens of the Sword Coast.
And it's one of those things where it's not like perpetual, but like every now and then it's like a...
Well, we are heading towards something. I'm not sure what it is.
It's an erratic.
It seems erratic, yeah.
Something's on fire.
It's a party.
Press on?
Yeah.
I mean, what else are we going to do?
Definitely another beer.
All right. Press on until it's time to rest.
Yeah.
All right. You push on for a few more hours and trying to think back how long you've been here, and the time passes in a strange way to the point where you have no way of understanding really how much time has gone by, but you're starting to get a little tired, like you would towards the end of a day's worth of travel. You come up over a large hillside, and you can see now there's a base of a mountain range that you can kind of make out a little in the distance that meets up where that flickering is, and you can see what appears to be now the source of the flickering. There looks to be some sort of a civilization. There are towers. There appears to be a stone ring around it. It's hard to make out the details from this distance, but it looks fairly large, and it's kind of in the side of the mountain range.
I say we camp here. I think it's a lovely idea.
What's around?
Help us, please.
Tonight you dream of blood. Not of blood on a blade or the blood on your hands, but an ichor that runs as a torrent through the realms. A flood that pours across the fields and forests. An ocean that floats you to the world's edge and threatens to cascade off into the void. This blood seems a frightening thing, a massive force that sweeps away all resistance. As a whole, it is a monster and it cannot be stopped. Were it to be viewed from on high, it would seem to cover the entire world in its red-black embrace. You, however, do not have such a lofty perch. From within the deluge, you can see it does not move as one, but is filled with currents, eddies, and undertows. Pockets of calm afford breathing space, whilst violent whirlpools threaten to rend limb from limb. Ultimately, it seems undirected and lacks a driving will, a quality you have in abundance. You may be caught within, but sufficient determination can shape what you need to survive. There are still options open, still choices to be made. As the tide presses forward, you steer as you wish, atop a ship called Persistence and under sails made of resolve. A sudden and deliberate wave puts an end to your course and to the dream. It would seem that the flood does have some will and took offense to your enjoying the ride.
Halt! Be you friend or foe?
Citizens, please step forward.
Walking alone in the Coastway Road. How smart is this?
Ho there, wanderer. Stay thy course a moment to indulge an old man.
There he is, just as Sorum described, a slave of the Hated One. Slay the Sun Soul and those who stand with him.
Be careful, friend. Some of these people are the same who attacked Gamaz and me in Athkatla. Those strikes, the sinuous manner in which they dodged. Those who attacked Gamaz and me in Athkatla were not Shadow Thieves. They were Dark Moon monks. They must have tracked me here. One of the cult's principal goals is the eradication of the Sun Soul monks and all worshippers of Selûne. They will not rest until their dark purposes eclipse our efforts. We must stop them.
You! Hiex would speak at you, for 'tis destined to be so.
Leave us alone, will ya? Nothing for you here.
Come to torment me some more, you shape-shifting bastards.
Evil finds its worst enemy in truth and honor.